Well, new this morning, dozens of people could be seen entering the Rafah crossing from Gaza to Egypt this morning. It appeared to be the first time foreign passport holders have been allowed to leave the besieged territory since the start of the Israel-Hamas War. Hundreds have gathered at the crossing at different times recently, but have not been allowed out because of disagreements among Egypt, Israel, and Hamas. The war has been going on for 4 weeks now, and the death toll continues to rise. More than 9,900 people have been killed on both sides. This morning, we're learning new information about Israel's strategies and the push for humanitarian aid for civilians caught in the middle of the war. We're joined by Livia Link-Raviv, who's the Consul General of Israel to the Southwest. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're based out of Houston. You arrived in New Orleans yesterday. You'll be in town a couple days. What have you done so far, and what is your message? What do you want to get across while you're here?
So to be honest, we were hoping to have a different kind of visit. This visit was planned weeks ago, and it was all about water technologies and economic developments, things we like to do in the day-to-day work. Unfortunately, circumstances changed the agenda, and we're here to tell the story and to explain, to talk with elected officials, to talk to universities, to the Jewish community as well, media, as we are here, and to explain what's going on after the atrocities and the barbaric terroristic attack we suffered on October 7th.
Well, tell us more, because yesterday a Hamas leader was targeted and killed. He helped orchestrate those October 7th attacks. There were some civilian casualties. What I think a lot of people don't understand is Hamas is setting up shop in the middle of neighborhoods, using these civilians as human shields. Tell us your side.
Correct, and that is the point. And actually, it's not about sides; it's about facts.
Right.
So Hamas is committing a double war crime. Once, he is shooting at civilians, at Israeli civilians from the Gaza Strip. And the second is putting at risk their own brothers and sisters while operating from within civilian population. And this is the problem. This is a huge problem.
Israel has greatly expanded its ground operations in Gaza over the weekend. A lot of world leaders pushing for a ceasefire, but your prime minister not interested in that. He wants Hamas to pay. He said he wants to wipe every member of them off the face of the earth. How do you think the prime minister is doing, and what do you think about the ground attacks?
I think it's very important to remember the objectives of the war that was imposed on us. We remained with no choice. And the objectives of the war are very simple and straightforward. Dismantle the Hamas terrorist infrastructure from the Gaza Strip. This is what we're talking about. This is not about revenge. We are not, God forbid, a bloodthirsty nation. This is about keeping the Israeli population safe. And the only way we will be able to do that is dismantle the terrorist infrastructure from Gaza, and this is exactly what we are doing.
Yesterday here in the United States, we saw a Cornell University student was arrested for attacks on anti-Semitism. Are you seeing a lot of that here in the Southwest where your territory is?
Well, I think the Southwest is no different, unfortunately. We're seeing a global rise in anti-Semitism. We have to remember it is a global phenomena. And terrorism is never a local or a regional problem. What we're seeing in Israel has a spillover to Europe, to the US, and we're seeing it in the shape and form of anti-Semitism in the US as well.
They did open the crossing from Gaza to Egypt yesterday, finally, since October 7th. Tell us more about that. Who is actually going to take that?
Well, to be accurate, it was opened a while ago. Last week, we had trucks entering with humanitarian aid and assistance to Gaza. Only yesterday, we had 70 trucks entering. I think the total is 200, just making sure, supply of water, food, medicine is being entered, and the effect on civilians is the minimum possible.
And now it's open for civilians to actually flee.
From my understanding, Hamas did not allow it till this moment.
All right. Thank you so very much. Your message is so important. We appreciate you being here and being here in New Orleans.
Thank you for having me.